What's good? I wish I was like a little bit faster because I don't be trying to like. I got the fan on this shit. But you see those two faces on my screen? That's Abba and that's Preach. Preach ain't got dreads no more. He cut him probably a couple months ago or something. I like watching these guys. I really, really do. Abba, view wise, we have some similarities. Some similarities. Preach, the same thing. And these guys are funny as shit. They like It's like they don't even really have to try to be too funny. They just like naturally funny, and I guess I'm pretty sure they do comedy and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure they've done a lot of practice there and a lot of going over stuff, a lot of review and they do a review channel, but I mean like reviewing their work and things like that. But regardless of anything, I fucked with their channel tough. I seen when they hit like I think it was 2 million. I think it was 2 million. I think I seen them hit 2 million. I don't know if I seen them hit 1 million. I ain't sure, but I know I seen them hit 2 million. They better have hit 2 million. I can't see it from this low ass screen. Anyway, yep, they did 2.24. I couldn't see it from the Streamlabs low ass screen, but right now they talking about that's crazy because I named my video the exact. I didn't even pay attention to that shit. I just when I looked at their title, I seen Diddy and before Verdit. I did not see Last Stand. I'm changing my title once it get onto YouTube. I'm gonna go to change it up a little bit. But hold up, man. Priest, priest. I gotta see the top of priest head. See if his joint still spread out. I say that because I got hair, but I cut my hair before, and when I had braids, when I cut it off, man, I had to go through that process of like the lines and shit, and the hair had to readjust. Oh man, that was crazy. But anyway, let's see what these funny motherfuckers got to say.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Today's topic, we've reached the end of the Diddler's trial. I haven't done an update for the last like 3-4 weeks of the trial. It's been very interesting. I think actually the defense has done as good of a job as they can at discrediting some of the witnesses. They've managed to catch some of them in lies. They've managed to poke holes in some ideas and some theories. And it's definitely given quite a lot of people watching some ideas. Why was this witness put up? Were they really credible? A lot of people have different opinions. Personally, me watching a lot of the testimony unfold and following with it every day. There's definitely been some up and downs for the prosecution, mistakes that they've made that they've been caught in. But now we're reaching this point. There's questions about whether or not they're guilty or not. Whether I think he's guilty on the 5 counts or not is kind of irrelevant because the 12 jurors are going to decide. And it only takes one juror to say, I don't want to charge him for him to get off. That's all it takes, right? It has to be a unanimous decision when it comes to finding him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. There are 5 charges, 2 for trafficking, 1 for Jane, 1 for Cassie, 1 RICO, and then 2 Mann Act, which is the transportation of prostitution across state lines. With that in mind, I want to kind of go over the closing arguments, kind of give a chance for both of the sides to give what they want to say so you could hear theory is as they're presenting it to the jury and whether or not it's convincing. So, first off, we have...
Hold up. So he really only has 2 trafficking situations. And then going across state lines on some prostitute stuff. I don't know. Listen, it sounds like you have 4 of them, realistically. But Cassie, she was having fun. She was having fun. So, I don't even know what to say. Because it's like, they done went through so much of blaming. And then it's like it comes out. She was part of it. Diddy was making her do it. But then she was instigating it. It's like, they ain't gonna tell the truth. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. Let's see what Christy
USA Slavic on behalf of the
Slavic.
prosecution against Diddy. And one of the first messages reads, the defendant was the head of the Combs enterprise. There was an inner circle, his chief of staff, his bodyguards, the names changed, but the roles remained the same. You've heard about KK, Combs' right brain. She lived in 2-star. Some people think that racketeering is just for the mafia or for street gangs, but it's not the truth. So let's say you run a real business. You sell cake, all right? Every day, people come for cupcakes. But you also tell your employees to go get drugs for you, for them to go get women for you, for them to go get tools for you to commit crimes, then they can charge you with RICO. Brendan Paul, who's an employee of Diddy, said he made 100K a year.
Oh,
KK, one of the co-conspirators, made six
oh,
times that. When your boss asks you to buy drugs, you're committing a crime. When you kidnap someone or lock his girlfriend in a hotel room after your boss stomped on her face, it's a crime. The law does not require us to know that they like committing these crimes. You saw KK chiding the defendant to not be so reckless, but she got him cash. Drugs. She was a member of the enterprise. It impacted interstate commerce. Minimal is fine. Combs knowingly became a member. He was the boss. He was the through line. The racketeering acts, you got distribution of drugs, kidnapping, arson, bribery,
dang!
facilitating of trafficking. You only need to find that someone would commit 2 acts in any of these categories. It could be 2 acts of drug distribution. It could be 1 kidnapping. It's just 2. USA Slavic, the most involved were D-Rock, KK, and Fahim. But
Dang!
others helped keep the drug supply. We
Shit,
are not talking about marijuana
the
or
fuck
what
was he
Brendan Paul
doing?
calls hard drugs. There are stipulations of the drugs found in the searches. If you don't remember, Diddy was caught with drugs in the hotel when he
Is that a honey pack? What are those pink things? And what's up with the Jolly Ranch? Like, yo, what's up with the random Jolly Rancher? Like, what's the pink things? Is that a honey pack? What was Diddy on? What was Diddy on? What was my guy on? I mean, on some real shit. I never was a fan of Diddy. Like, I never was really like a. I never really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never really jumped on his shit. I never really told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. No, I really wasn't on that type time with him. Um, I like Mace. I listened to Biggie to a point. No, you know what? I ain't even gonna front. I'm about to put Biggie in my playlist because there was some songs he had some dope ass beats and shit like that. But I ain't gonna hand. But I did have his double CD. Um, I never was a fan of Puffy. Like I never want. I thought back then he was a corny nigga. Not even in like a way where it was like I'm hating on him. Nah, I just figured like see this difference is like back. I was born in the '80s, so you gotta think back then like late '90s, early 2000s. Around that time like niggas could call a nigga lame and still be around that nigga, and he still be around. It just was I don't know. It was like nigga, you just lame. Like you do lame shit. You a lame ass dude. No matter if you got money or not. But it really didn't make people go, I ain't gonna fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Like we'll call somebody lame, but he's still cool. You know what I mean? Cool people. He's a cool person. He's just a lame person. Nowadays it's like I mean they don't get canceling shit too much now. But back then that's why he was straight. He was straight because he had bread. People thought he was lame. But at the same time, nobody was worried about it enough to like be on his ass or whatever. I don't know why I thought about saying pause when it came to Diddy and being on his ass. Pause.
he was arrested. And then some of his employees were on jets flying across, arrested also with drugs. So they do have hard evidence of them traveling with these drugs and them having it. Quantities are not relevant. It's not an element of this crime. Distribution does not require sale. So people are saying, well, this is not distribution, and that's also what the defense says. This is for personal use. If you use your employees to get drugs for you, distribution just means that you hand it out to other people. People think that distribution means you're running some kind of drug front where you're selling. It had nothing to do with.
So wait, all my life I thought you know what I mean real shit. You get a distribution charge, you making money off of it. So if I just walk in the room and be like, everybody want one? Anybody want one? What if I just walk in the room and I just put like 13 on the table and was like 13 of these on the table? So that means 13 people can come up here one at a time. Is that distribution, or did I just put something on the table and allow them to come pick it the fuck up? Tell me, please. Tell me in the comments.
That distribution is just what the word means. You distribute it to others. People imagine that like things like trafficking always have to be for financial gain or something like that. Even if it's for your own pleasure, if you traffic a young woman and then you get her to sleep with other people, also you can enjoy watching, it's still trafficking, even if nobody pays you. What the prosecution was able to find is that through the text messages, as they read through all the employees had different code names for different types of drugs. And they would coordinate between each other to get the money to get the kind of drugs that Diddy needed for whatever it was for these freak offs. They're also on camera in the videos that they filmed in the freak offs consuming some of these drugs. So you have the distribution element right there. You also have the escorts who came to spend time with Diddy and the lady, admitting to the fact that they did the
And the
drugs that
lady?
Diddy distributed. There's really
And the lady? See what I like that right there? It's like that was like so subtly funny as shit. Like Priest caught it, but Adam was able to continue with no problem. He know what the fuck he did though. He know what the fuck he did. That shit like that is funny to me because it's like I think I see you, but he look. This motherfucker over here, King, he about to pop.
for me personally, just listening to this part, not much wiggle room.
Leeway or wiggle, yeah.
Cassie used drugs at every freak off supplied by the defendant. He introduced Jane to drugs, gave them to her. He gave drugs to Kerry Morgan, to Banna Bonolan. He made Brendan Paul try Tusi to see if it was good. D-Rock would text one stop, need to see someone for bro. That is the defendant. Guido asked for him to cover the defendant's drug debt. KK knew he was distributing drugs to the women for the Wild King Nights. Jane told KK was having a bad come down. KK, who's the co-conspirator, gives pro tips on how to deal with it. Plain and simple, that is drug distribution. So his employees were telling the women he was allegedly trafficking how to deal with overdosing or, basically the after effects. Exactly. How about
Hold up. So you mean to tell me they get walking to this party or they already tooting up, and now somebody is about? This is diabolical. To have somebody give people a walkthrough on how to deal with an overdose. So I wonder now, did he have Narcan at the parties? Because if he had Narcan at the parties, and this is like, I'm gonna wake you up, fresh start.
How about kidnapping? They committed them both under California and New York law. Consider Cassie. He stomped on her face. She was disfigured. Roger Bonds, which is Diddy's security, caught her and brought her back. The defendant made her go to the London hotel on Sunset so no one saw her. She wanted to go home to her mom, but no, she was not allowed. That is kidnapping. And I think as far as the defense goes, they did a good job of saying there's not enough proof for this. You can't prove it's the defendant. For example, the arson aspect. It's like, well, people were like, well, no one caught him on camera doing it. Nobody said that. And the defense team did a good enough job to say, I can't definitively say beyond a reasonable doubt guilty of the arson. So that's where they get a win. But you have to remember, when this is for RICO, they have such a long list of crimes that they're alleging Diddy did. And whether or not the arson happened isn't really that important.
No, because you need two. And motherfuckers have 70,000.
At 70,000 drug distribution alone.
It's just like...
The defense, for example, made a good job of saying, like, how are you going to say...
What? What? 70,000 drug transactions? What? Damn. Damn. How many? So you think about it, it's maybe at the max 1,000 people, 100 people, 200 people at these parties. Let's say 200. I think that's a high number, but let's say 200. I mean, 70,000 interactions of drug distribution. They ain't worried about no fire. Fuck that fire. If we can get him on the fire, we can get him on the fire. Fuck that fire. Almost got 100,000 drug transactions on your ass. God damn.
Say this is forced labor. So they're trying to say it's forced labor because they forced Cassie or Jane to sleep with the people, or they forced Mia, which is another, to work insane hours for 3 days straight on drugs and stuff like that. But there's just no evidence there. So I think the defense does a good job of knocking out some of these predicate acts and being like, there's no clear sign for this. The problem for me was bribery was a great example. They literally had the dude who got bribed come in. He had to sign a sworn statement. He explains why the tape never came out for so long. It's because they They got bribed by Diddy. Diddy showed up, gave him $100K cash. The bodyguards were there. They made him sign an NDA. The bribery is going to be very, very hard to get out of. So that's another predicate act. You only need two, remember. Because you want to hear what their defense is for prostitution?
What?
This is what the guy goes, I'm not paying them for sex. I'm paying them for their time. I'm paying them for their company. And the prosecution's just like, well, you saw these people so often. How come you only saw them in hotel rooms? And how come some of them testified that if they didn't have sex, they basically received nothing or literally nothing other than the travel fees? In fact, he even called the escort agency to complain. He said, the guy didn't finish, so you're only getting half. What does that tell you?
What?
The time fucking.
All right.
Basically.
And all the escorts who came on and testified said, yeah, I was there for sex.
So you was there for sex. Everybody knows you was there for sex. This light sucks right here. I need to put my other lamp on here, but it's charging. As soon as it's done charging, I guess like next video, but it's an email. But god damn, yo, that shit kind of crazy. Cause it just don't make any sense. Just trying a way to make. Oh, this is something else. I promise you it don't make sense. It don't even add up because it's like, yo, you really can't. You can get away from, I guess, like some of the stuff that they don't have documented. But like, as far as like the drug transactions, getting people fucked up, dealing with the escorts, why they don't even have no reason not to tell the truth. They don't have no reason not to say it because that's what they was doing for work. So if that's what they was doing for work, why would they have any reason not to tell the truth? Like, Diddy was trying to give up like bad bread. I ain't saying he already in there for bribery. So nah, ain't no offering them nothing at this given moment to try to get them to chill out. Ain't nothing to offer them. Ain't nobody chilling the fuck out. Like, it is reasons that he fucked up. Cool. But there's also things that they probably trying to push on him that really has nothing to do with anything. So maybe his verdict could be chill, but he's still going to jail. It seemed like it. That's what it seemed like right now. It seemed like the verdict still might put him in jail.
That's all we did. I wanted the whole tune banged as long as they needed. I got paid more.
We didn't play Uno.
Yeah, exactly.
Reverse.
He tried. Again, I don't think there's any reasonable jury who's going to say he's not guilty of that charge.
No.
I think you underestimate. Okay, the jury is actually interesting. It's 8 men and 4 women. They're older. What do you think the problem is there?
There's more men than women.
Wrong. It's the opposite. There's 2 men and women. When it comes to cases that involve sexual crime, women are actually reticent to find men guilty.
Really?
So I've seen conflicting studies on this. But to come back to the Diddy case, apparently like people have been zoning in on one of the jurors, was this like older black woman, and apparently she's loving Diddy. She be loving his lawyer and shit. She be making all kinds of reactions. That could be enough for a mistrial. Just needs one. It just needs one, and it's so funny too because I was watching the.
She's just.
Okay, you're saying that the YNW Melly case. It was a mistrial.
Yeah.
One juror fucked it up. An older black woman. Basically, when they went into there, and she's like, "I don't think he did it. I think this is a setup. I think different." And I watched the case. I watched the evidence. It was live streamed. That motherfucker is guilty. They had a Fitbit because he tried to pretend like somebody came by, did a drive-by, and killed his 2 homies. But they did the gun splatter shit, and they found out it was just him in the backseat shooting his 2 homies. In fact, they actually had the location of the GPS where it stopped, and because he had an app that tracks your footsteps, so they could track the fact that at the time of the shooting, he got out of the car, walked around, stood there for a few seconds, and then walked back. Why? Because he had to go outside, shoot the car from out to make it look like a drive-by, and then get back in the vehicle. Then another camera came back, and he left with it. So he left the 2 guys dead in the car. That's just the tip of the iceberg, okay? They had this dude dead to rights. The jury was ready to convict. This woman was a holdout. The jury comes back in to like read the verdict, like we can't come to so the judge says, go back inside. Them motherfuckers Just go in there for 2 more days.
From day one, she says this one woman on the jury had issues with the foreperson selected at one point, crossing her arms and saying she was done. When another juror asked her not to shut down and set her feelings aside, she exploded. When prospective jurors are questioned to decide whether they can be fair and impartial, the woman said she had previous experience with the legal system because of past family issues. She insisted this would not affect her ability to serve as a juror. On the last day of deliberation, the former juror said that while it appeared they were 11-1 to convict demons of manslaughter with a deadly weapon, the woman pulled 2 other jurors aside and spoke to them for a few minutes, convincing them to come to her side.
So it just takes one. And I think this is one of those cases where that one might be in the cards. So the defense lawyer, he was the opposite of the prosecution.
Okay.
He didn't have no PowerPoint. He was just yapping. He was just, the trial from the evidence, what is it? Is it personal use drugs? That's all it is. That and swingers, a lifestyle. But the prosecution have charged one of the most serious statutes on the books. They called threesomes and drugs RICO. And they found it, boxes of Astroglide. Take Diddy off the streets.
Baby Yo-Yo and Astro Glide. But yeah, on some real shit, when I was little, right, we used water. We didn't use baby oil or nothing else. Me and Keon, was it me and Keon? I think it was me and Keon. Yeah, we made a slip and slide in my mom's house in the basement. Of this like carpet she had down there, long carpet. So we wet this shit like crazy. And slip and slide. For us. Yeah, we got fucked up. See, we got beat by my mom. And then we were sent to his house so his mom could beat us. It was like a rotation of child abuse. But in our minds, we was just getting an ass whooping. So we didn't think about it being child abuse. We thought about it being like, that was fun. And I ain't gonna lie, it was worth it. It was worth the ass whooping, but nigga, we ain't doing that shit again. Because next time, we might not make it out alive. Oh my God. It was like a rotation of ass whooping. Rotation of ass whoopings. But now they saying one single, everybody says black, but I say Asiatic because I'm a Moorish American. One single Asiatic woman upset the trial of YM Melly. What did you say, Melly? And now, does that seem like it's gonna be the Diddy trial? Is they saying that that's gonna go in that way? I don't know. Let's see. Let me let them do their thing. I ain't even gonna front. Watching it happen in Preach, it's kind of a little bit hard to react to y'all because I'm more interested in watching what y'all got to present. So this is something new. This is the first time, and I thought about this in the future. Well, I thought about this in the past. My bad. About reacting to reactors, and then I seen a couple people doing it, and I was like, dang. All right, I'm gonna try with Abbott Priest, but it's like watching y'all videos. I'm not even gonna lie. I more want to watch it than review it. You know what I mean? So let's get through this.
They got the baby oil and the personal use drugs. America's safer.
You
saw
see
the
his
Kid
face,
Cudi thing.
though?
This is what he says.
Did you see his face? They got the baby oil. Yo, that would be funny.
Yeah, he was there. I'm not saying Sean Combs didn't go there. He wanted to fight Cudi. Mother.
Bro, you was mad animated reading the shit. And that shit fucking me up. Cause every time I pause it and unpause it, he go right the fuck in.
Combs is not a coward.
See?
He's ready to fight. At the risk of being sexist, they are men. They fight.
Fight.
We're going to have a good old-fashioned 8 in the morning Hollywood Hills John Wayne fight. The Porsche, not a style. There's no evidence. Who else would do it? Not evidence. Burning a car is cowardice. Be a man and fight him. Did the defendant go after Cassie? Absolutely he did. This is after the Cudi incident where she was trying to run away. He's banging on the door, maybe with a hammer. He's banging on the door, maybe with a hammer. Motherfucker, are you? He's just saying shit, bro. So during he was just freestyling, and he ended up fucking up. And the judge agrees. So the judge has to make a statement to the jury saying you should not consider some of what he said. It was inappropriate. Now here's the thing.
Wild.
This is actually not a bad move by the defense because
it blurs the jury. You can't unhear what you heard.
You can't unring the bell. That's true. And also, like, the prosecution is not going to ask for mistrial on closing statements, right? So the judge can't do too much. One party says Brandon Paul said these were personal drugs. He said he forgot to take the cocaine out of my bag. I got the best lawyer in the world and my charges were dismissed. That's what he said. That's what Brandon Paul, Diddy's employee, said. Sean Combs would not sell in drugs, which is true. He wasn't. But that has nothing to do with distribution.
No. But he's
right?
trying to play with the words.
He's doing what a defense
This is
attorney
what you gotta
does.
do.
Cassie said he was a drug addict. How was he supposed to get them? Grow his own Xanax? Did he have drugs? Yes. They found it in his house. Was he using his enterprise to distribute drugs? No. You're going to have to think through this. I was like, bro, so you're admitting he had the drugs. You're admitting he was getting them through his employees, but he wasn't distributing them even though.
He was. And evidence shows that he was.
So again,
but at this point, he's just yapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he does the same thing. He goes, it's people in creative fields doing what people in creative fields do. So he's talking about the drugs. It's not racketeering. I'm going to talk about Cassie. Can you traffic your girlfriend? Maybe. If you push them into prostitution, but he's not making money from it. So he's trying to blur the line of what trafficking
They
is.
did a good job about what the definitions were and what the definitions are. And he's trying to do a good job to blur all the lines and up and put some sand in the water just to blur it.
Right. And one thing the prosecution said was, listen, if you don't believe that Cassie was always unwilling, that's okay. You only need to find him guilty of once. If he forced her even one time against her will to engage in these sex acts with these prostitutes, that's trafficking. Now, for a lot of people, that's hard to understand.
I don't think it's hard to understand. It's just like, God damn, just one? Just one. You need just one specific time that he decided to do this shit. And from there, you're going to, you know what I'm saying? It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm. I don't want to do that. I'm going to sing that drum. So it's like, it doesn't make, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you trying to get them, they trying to get you for Joe, they just trying to get you for that one. Once they catch that one, now it's time to figure it all out, how they gonna go. Difference is that Diddy has like a super big case. My question is this. If Brody was already in Bali somewhere, why the fuck can't he just stay over there? Like, if you already got out the mix and shit, you should have told them motherfuckers to zoom you. But it's not. I mean, if he's wrong, ultimately, jail. You know what I mean? That would be the fair thing to do. If he get off, that's going to be crazy. Like, crazy if he get off.
But to me, it kind of rings true. If you're sleeping with somebody on a pretty regular basis and they say no, and then you beat them into, isn't that not great? I think we'd all agree. But then the defense comes back and they go, if she liked it 75, can number 76 be sex trafficking? He closes on this line. He goes, America's the greatest because each citizen and the government, there is a trial. That is your house. I'm going to ask you to summon that courage to do the right thing and acquit Sean Combs on all counts. He is not a racketeer. He's innocent. Let him go home to his family. Thank you. And he leaves the stand. During this closing, he definitely made a good job of poking holes in regards to
Every time you say
the arson.
holes.
The arson. He did a good job in regards to Jane. Again, they definitely had some high points, and I don't want to take that away from the defense. Now, the prosecution comes on rebuttal, which is shorter, and that's Miss Comey. The defendant did not take no for an answer, certainly not from his girlfriends. He beat them. They suggest he didn't pay for sex, that there was no enterprise, and that the witnesses lied. But he flew sex workers across the country to have sex with Cassie and Jane while he enjoyed himself.
That's crazy, though, because it's like, if it's a consenting thing, how is that even an issue? If they escorts, if this is what they do, how does this make sex trafficking in any way? I guess, I mean, I'm thinking about it like this. Taking somebody, boom, boom, boom. They looking at like, he bought them plane tickets. He bought them plane tickets, I guess. Maybe that's how he's looking at it. He bought the plane tickets, so because he bought the plane tickets, he is sex trafficking adults who are going somewhere to fuck. But if the prosecution, if his people, no, the prosecution would be against him. He's the defendant. If his side is like, they're adults. They do what they want to do. It's understandable, but I need to look into this more. I don't be paying attention to the Diddy trial like that because I don't give a fuck enough. They got shit to do with me realistically, but I like to review stuff, but I don't think I would have been able to just follow this whole trial. But at the same time, it is content. You could make a video about each update. I think Amber and Priest have done a couple of different videos on it. You know, you see it from other people and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't think I would have did too many videos. But it's not wrong because it's content, and it's like if you can do consistency, then you generate like the consistency of people who will come back and want to see what you say about the trial because you done the trial several times.
Himself in the corner. It was not for their conversation. It was for sex. Remember Daniel Phillip? He said he got paid for sex. When he had a performance issue, he stopped getting paid. The Punisher, 500 with no sex, thousands win sex. And the 500 was just for travel. I suspect you'll hear that uncalled witnesses were equally available to both sides. Maybe some of these men would have worked for free. You know, who wouldn't want to have sex in front of the masked master celebrity? But they got paid. The defendant is guilty on.
They called him the masturbator. Mm. So wait, was he wearing a mask or was he like face out? Like so, like Diddy was like a cuck by choice. He was like a dominant cuck because he like controlled the situation, but he watches chick get smashed by other people. Man, this is a brain fart.
Count 3 and 5. Mr. Agnifilo said Mr. Combs is just a fist guy. Sure, when it is his girlfriend's. With men, he needs guns. He went after Cassie and stomped on her face. She wasn't allowed to go home to her mom. That is kidnapping. Eddie Garcia, he believed he could not go to the police under the agreement and the
Who the fuck is
bribery.
Eddie
And Combs
Garcia?
said, watch out how you spend it. This is a guy who can't get his own water bottle or plug his own phone charger. He's a general. He delegates. KK knows the Wild King Nights involved escorts. The only reason he needs thousands of dollars in those hotel rooms is to pay for the escorts. KK reads all of Combs' texts, so she knew. KK alone makes Diddy guilty on count 1, racketeering. Drugs, Mr. Agnifilo talked about conspiracy to distribute, but giving drugs to Cassie and Jane is distribution. That is enough. Mr. Agnifilo claims they wanted it. Mia said no. Cassie said no on her 29th birthday. Jane said no before Anton after being beaten. These women had no reason to lie. The defense says it's for money, but Cassie already got paid. The defendant did hit Cassie during freak-offs. Cassie said it. Daniel Phillip, who was one of the escorts in the room, said it. He witnessed Cassie get, and it's on video. The defendant was in that towel. The freak-off was not over. There's no separating the violence from the sex. Remember when Cassie OD'd in a hotel room in Long Island, and they still had the freak-off? When
Hold up. Cause I remember that video. I remember a video. They showed the video of Diddy like standing over talking to her and stuff. Man, what was that? My iPhone. Where they was talking and stuff, and he was talking, and she was like balled up under the cover and shit. That was a freak off. Diddy don't be caring. He was tired pulling the phone out like, yeah, man, why you under the cover, baby?
Jean performed oral sex on Anton after Combs beat her, that was trafficking. He coerced Cassie and Jane into this, nothing happened. He raped Mia, nothing happened. He beat Cassie and nothing happened. He beat Cassie in hotel on tape and then bribed the guards to buy it and nothing happened. He was untouchable. He did not think that these women would speak and that Kid Cudi and Deontay Nash and the other men and the other 30 witnesses would speak. The defendant is not God. He stands equal before the law. Find him guilty. She did pretty good on that rebuttal. The rebuttal definitely brought it together, especially on Jane. I didn't even think the Jane thing would even have a chance, but the way she explained it brought it back for me, and I'm like, okay, I can see it. If you beat someone and then tell them to do the things that are sexual for you, even though you don't want to. All in all, not guilty on Jane, mistrial or guilty on Cassie, mistrial or guilty on Rico, and guilty on the sleeping with the prostitutes. All five?
Landslide.
Oh, landslide?
I'm just for the f- it.
I kind of want to agree with how he broke it down, but I also want to go now. Kind of want to do some more research on my own. You know what I mean? And I really don't, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna do some. If y'all got anything y'all want to say, or not anything I want to say, questions, or you want to share down there, tell me what you think. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think that? Hey, yo, bro, what's good, bro? My bad. I'm live on this joint. I'm streaming right now, Brody. Hold up. I'll turn this shit around real quick so I can show you the joint. Oh, I got my GoPro right here. I'm doing this joint. Hold up. Nuggle my Streamlabs shit. You know what I mean? I ain't turn my backlight on. But I'm reviewing this video right here. And this John is how the fuck I turned my camera back? Uh, this John is Diddy trial and shit. So, or his verdict. So I was just reviewing it because I like watching Advent preach. My bad, y'all. Stop real quick. It's my homeboy Trey. Came into my live over here. But anyway, let me finish this up. If y'all got anything y'all want to say in the comments and shit, ask in the comments. I dead ass answer y'all questions, or if y'all know any information that y'all can share with me, cool. I think I'll come back and like do another Diddy video at some point in time soon.